I was a person who thought it's okay to spend a lot of money from week to week on clothes. For me, it never seemed a problem. For me, it was kind of okay. I'm buying what I like, and if I don't wear it, whether I'm gonna donate or I'm gonna give it to someone. And most of the clothes that I was giving away, they still had the tags on. So obviously I didn't wear them. I just received, tried on. Sometimes I didn't try and put them on the shelves. But one day I decided that I need to calculate how much I'm spending in a year. And when I seen that amount of money, I realized that I could have bought something useful for me that would make my life more comfortable, and this definitely wouldn't be clothes. But without that part in my life, I probably wouldn't be able to share with you those 6 things that actually helped me to build my personal style. If no matter how much money you spend, how much of clothes you are buying, you seem always don't have something to wear, I am sure this video will help you to quit shopaholicism and to build really healthy relationship with clothes. Hey, not only girls but boys as well. And surprisingly, 20% of my viewers are male population. If I am helpful to you, I'm really happy. First thing, what got me so obsessed with buying clothes like non-stop, I am someone who is in love with colors. Anywhere I'm looking, whether this is sky, this is a nature, this is someone wearing something, if I'm watching TV, I do see colors first. I constantly analyze the color combinations, and I'm still kind of mad about colors. I do love mixing colors. Anything what I would see colorful, whether this is a jumper, whether this would be any piece of clothing, I would buy it. I wouldn't hesitate a second. I would just add it to my basket and I would purchase straight away. I was once obsessed with the green, then with the orange, now with the burgundy, and I used to buy clothes in that color I was obsessed with. So let's say if I really loved orange color, for me it wouldn't matter how I will be wearing, how I'll be styling. Do I have any other clothes I can pair this piece of garment? I would buy, and actually it was really rare. There were no many clothes in orange color. Anything what I would see in orange, whether this would be leggings, jumper, I would buy it. So my massive obsession with the color got me into that trap that I was just buying. And obviously when I got a piece of clothing, I would be like, okay, how to wear it? Even if I would not like how it sits on me, how it looks on my figure, I would still keep it. I would not refund it. Having that thought that I own something what I really desired. That actually is mental, I know, but it was part of my life, and I'm sharing this with you, and maybe this will help you to analyze your purchasing habits as well. What actually helped me to separate myself from this addiction, you won't believe, but this was a trip to Amsterdam. I used to love taking short trips, like escape trips to closest cities for a few days, and once I went to Amsterdam, and if I'm not mistaken, not far away from Amsterdam somewhere, there is the tulip farm. There are massive fields of tulips, and there is like a park, and you can walk through and you can enjoy the abundance of the tulips and of the colors, obviously. So I went there with my friends, and I was walking around those flowers. Inside, I was so happy to be surrounded by so many different colors, different tones, how nicely they play, how nicely they look together. We spent there, I think, nearly full day, and while walking around those flowers, I realized that I can enjoy colors without owning them. It was really first that bell rung in my head that not necessarily I have to own something to enjoy something. Yeah, and after that thought, obviously I came back home and that actually stopped me. Before buying next thing, I stopped for the second and I thought, do I really need that color in my wardrobe? What I'm gonna do with that? Will this piece of clothing be worn if I will be wearing this? And yeah, that was great, guys. That was really great experience, and I found myself there. I found one piece of myself there that I'm so grateful. And I still do love colors, but now I obviously understand I don't have to own all the clothes in all colors. Another thing, second thing, what made me purchase non-stop certain category of garments, of clothes, so that was I really wanted to highlight the best parts of my body I was proud of. In general, I always loved my figure, and there were parts that I was proud of. I think this video is a confession, so I need to call those parts. And these were my hips, my waist, and my bust. Yeah, so I really felt the need constantly highlight best parts of my figure, that I am so cool, I look cool, and I always kept buying clothes like jean, particular style jean, particular style tight tops to highlight that I have beautiful bust, I have beautiful waist. Now looking back, I understand that this was actually insecurity. I had to prove myself again and again that I do have this beautiful body, that it's really mine. So I always needed someone appreciation. I always needed the reaction. Now when I'm thinking what actually helped me to understand and get rid of that insecurity about my figure, I cannot remember what. I just remember one day I woke up and I didn't want to dress to impress. I just simply wanted to dress the way to feel comfortable inside. It's not like feel physical. Obviously it's really important part to feel physically comfortable in clothes, but to feel mentally comfortable in clothes. You know, when you are satisfied, when you are happy with yourself, who you are, and you don't need anyone to accept you because you have accepted yourself. Yeah, so I don't know, one day I just woke up really happy with everything what I have, with everything what I don't have, and it felt okay to dress mentally and physically comfortable for myself. I think this is a really big step nowadays for many people. Just because I went through that someone should accept me, I actually started to see people who live now this way. I see it a lot, not only among the youngsters, among the teenagers, that would be understandable, but this is a lot around someone who is in the 40s, in the late 30s, and I also see this in the people who are in their 50s. And my only wish would be for these people to be honest with yourself. When you start seeing that you are dressing for someone, this habit will slowly start leaving you. Let's move to thing number 3, and this was quite similar to previous, but another form of the acceptance, of being accepted by someone. So if in second point I talked about being socially accepted, so here in my point number 3 I talk about being accepted by someone who is with you. So I used to buy clothes that my partner liked. I think we all are adult and beautiful enough to understand. The problem here is that you don't believe in yourself. You don't trust yourself. You think that if you're gonna do things like you want, your second half won't accept you. And yeah, so I had that, and it was really fun part in my life. I remember browsing in some high street brands online and adding in a basket clothes that I thought, oh, that my partner would like to see me in that or in that, because he likes, let's say, my butt, and he would see that how beautiful my butt is, and you know, I would feel so cool about that. Don't get me wrong, it's really cool when you kind of think how your best half would react. You want that reaction. So I think really similar is to getting likes now in the social media. Yeah, so what actually helped me here? I've become more confident. I become more confident in my personal style. When you are growing, when you are becoming mature, you are starting to understand yourself. You're starting to feel that harmony inside, and this is a massive boost for confidence. And once you start becoming more confident, you know who you are, you know what you want to wear, what you don't want to wear. You start dressing for yourself, not for someone who would accept you. Here, obviously, massive help was from the courses. So I took so many styling courses, but about that experience, I really want to talk in my next video. Yeah, so next week, I'm gonna discuss what I started to do. So it helped me in my journey of developing my fashion sense and developing my personal style and recognizing my personal style. Yeah, so fashion courses, they played massive part in my life, but also they put me in another trap of shopaholicism. Well, just because I done a lot of fashion courses, in my next video obviously I'm gonna give you a little bit more information. But what happened? Just because you learn a lot of things about styling, about fashion styles, about how clothes can correct your figure, how clothes can highlight the best of you, I started purchase a lot of clothes in really different fashion styles. I really wanted to have all fashion styles in my wardrobe, because now I can create independent month capsule wardrobe for one in particular style. And can you imagine if there are around 20 or a little bit more fashion styles, and you have quite a few clothes that belong to one particular style? So that was enormous amount of clothes. I had them everywhere, and I remember I used to not only keep the clothes in my wardrobe, I started to use my husband's wardrobe. Yeah, it was insane, but it made me again who I am, and it is part of me. In this video I am really honest, so I'm saying you how it is. And now let's jump to the fifth thing what I realized, and I stopped that and I only gained from that. I was buying mostly really complicated, really perky, really interesting design clothes, something really bright, something with weird prints, something really heavy in design, something really trendy. If I can remember, I think it was around 80% of my wardrobe, I almost didn't have any of basic clothes. Maybe a couple of jeans, maybe a couple of t-shirts, but everything else, they were really attention grabbing. So I always wanted to look really fashionable. And I remember I had a jumper, it was like camouflage print with some kind of, here was a heart print, some kind of cute details like bows, heart, cat, something like that. So something extremely eye-catching. Two different fashion styles in one jumper, actually 3, guys. And I was all about that. And can you imagine, I had around 80% of my wardrobe these kind of clothes. And it's not a secret that this type of clothes are really difficult to style. That's why in my videos on my channel I am talking so many times, if you have really complex, complicated clothes, keep simplifying them with the denim, with the jeans, really classic, basic jeans. If you have the same problem, my only recommendation would be do it other way. 20% of complex, quirky, interesting clothes in 80 of basics, classics, and then you will have that balance that you will always have something to wear and you will be always in your style with your personality in outfits. It's time to talk about last 6 points. I'm sure this will be massive lesson for quite a few people who will see this video. I had my favorite bloggers I was following, and by that time we didn't have a lot of fashion bloggers, so now I don't have any favorite blogger, I don't have any favorite celebrity, any favorite person I am following. I don't know, I just love myself probably. So I was following those fashion bloggers. The brands were sending them clothes, a lot of clothes. These people, they were trying on and they looked really nice, really beautiful. I was influenced. I was actually buying all those clothes that they tried on, and they were pretty much same body construction as I was by that time, and it was a green light for me to buy the clothes that they are trying on in their videos. And what I understood by that time, well, I'm gonna say 2 things now. Really, first thing, when you like someone, you kind of trust that person and they become authority for you, and you think that if you're gonna buy the clothes they tried, you will similarly look pretty, you will similarly look really fashionable, but it's not, right? Instead of building your own understanding of your personality, you are taking someone's personality, borrowing and putting on yourself. And another thing what I realized, I kept buying clothes, what I've seen in my favorite bloggers, and they seem never stopped. Every week there were new clothes and new and new. And what I realized, that there is abundance of clothes, that every week or every month there will be new stock coming with interesting, really beautiful, really cool clothes. They will never end. So the offer of clothes will never end. You will always have opportunity to buy something. I understood that there will come another stock that will replace the current. It will look more trendy, it will look more fashionable. So for me it was like, what's the point? What's the point buying now if there will be another piece of garment that can replace this one? So I realized that next week or next month I will have another piece of clothing I will fall for, and the one I'm buying now I will forget. You know, when you reach the ceiling and you see that there is nowhere to go, and that mindset helped me to just let go. I really hope that you got something for yourself. Maybe you need time to set this into your head, then try to see maybe there are things what I mentioned actually maybe triggered you, and maybe you will start seeing your patterns. I really hope to see you back on my channel next week, when I'm gonna talk about things that I start doing and they help me to elevate my style. And thank you for your attention, and bye.